You know, it's quite possible you're going to find this analysis of the new GloRilla LP, Glorious, to be a little disappointing. I mean, first of all, I'm not recording outside. People like it when I record out there. It's raining. It's too loud. I'm wearing very confusing clothing if you watch a lot of internet stuff. And in general, you might just think it's not as good as the analysis I did of her EP, Etang Etang, back in April. And let's just be honest, that was a great video. That was one of my better videos. I was tying in James Baldwin and Langston Hughes, and I was talking about Shannon Sharpe. It was a great video where I talked about the intersection of language and power, racism and regionalism. As a matter of fact, if you've never seen it, just go up there and watch that, because I don't think I will ever be more interesting, more dynamic, more fascinating talking about GloRilla than when I talked about that EP. But here's the thing. Everything I said in that video is still true now, and while it may seem as though I don't have that much new to add when talking about GloRilla, if you pay attention, you stick around, you might find that initial disappointment will turn to joy. By the end, you might end up saying in the comments, "Cool, Professor Skye has done it again." In case you can't tell, I'm not talking about my analysis. I'm not talking about my review. I'm talking about the album, which maybe you found disappointing in light of how great her EP was. But I'm saying if you dig a little deeper, I think you will be pleasantly surprised. Thank you for auditing the Always Positive New Music Review Show, hosted by a French professor who's really talking a lot these days about the mixtape, because it really seems like the mixtape is surpassing the album as a place to find great rap music. I have a lot of theories on this. I think the most convincing theory is just that LPs are heavy. You know, the first album by GloRilla. The next video I'm going to do is the first album by Love the Genius, another great female MC, kind of underground. But the first LPs, the first sort of main things that can be discussed, you know, this kind of idea of like the album, it can lead to them being overstuffed. It can lead to them being over heavy. You can sort of feel a sense of self-consciousness from the artist who knows they're making something important. And there's something that's lost from the mixtape when the mixtape goes away. And to a certain extent, if that's how you feel about the passage from Etang Etang to Glorious, that certainly makes sense. But she didn't really change that much. She's still the same. I still think she might be the most authentic and most charming mainstream rapper. You tell me. You tell me who else has the same kind of authentic charm as her. I can't think of anybody. She really, really has it. She's playful, but she's also serious. She plays with language. She plays with her accent. She plays with punchlines. She plays with stories. She has different themes. She's feminist and empowering, but not super focused on that. Even if you just take the cover is just this glamour shot. This just really earnest, sweet glamour shot where she's not trying to look tough. She's not trying to look sexy. She's trying to look glorious. My main disappointment with this album, beyond the fact that, like most LPs that follow excellent EPs, it's a little too long. There's a couple songs that could have been cut out, a couple guest features that were maybe unnecessary, is that she does trade a fair amount in this album on my least favorite theme in rap music made by women, which is the exchange value of sex. I am so good at sex that you will buy me things. As a feminist, it disappoints me because, especially when we're talking about female rappers who themselves have so much power and so much agency, to reduce themselves to things that can be traded for goods and services feels like a step backwards. But I'm oversimplifying things. So there's a little bit of that in this album, which I did not hear in Etang Etang. Also, in general, there's a little less play with her accent. I mean, there's still some, but what I'm most interested in is just how thick her accent is and how she's able to use it to open up new lyrical, even rhythmic, rhyming possibilities. Because, as I like to say, rap music is one of the few things that, even though it's national and international, is also truly regional. Those disappointments aside, if you actually dig a little bit deeper in here, you realize there are some fascinating themes that she really draws on. And I think it comes from her authenticity. I really feel so much authenticity in how she expresses herself, because her main theme, I think if you had to boil this down, to one sentence, D'Angelo style, I would say, you can make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. That's basically the theme of the album, which for a rap album is pretty cool because most rap albums are about bravado and saying I'm the best, I'm perfect, and all that. You can make mistakes. And if you don't know Professor Skye lore, we are currently potty training my 2-year-old with this kind of method, which it's a very intense method. It's a very, very difficult method. It's taken up this entire lovely long weekend. That's why I'm also upstairs, because I have to steal any time I can to do the channel. But the thing is, to do channel, the main thing is that when you potty train, you just have to talk about mistakes. You have to talk about the importance of trying, because that's how you don't get hang-ups. That's how you don't get hang-ups. Christopher Walken. That's how you don't get hang-ups about it, is you just accept that you make mistakes. There's a great bop from Sesame Street called Trying. Look it up sometime. So that's one theme that's oh, well, that's interesting. You don't hear that all the time in rap music. Another one that comes up just a little bit. It's how she discusses that she has trouble expressing herself, even through music. It's one thing to express yourself in music, and that's great. I think Megan Thee Stallion, who's on this album, is a great example. I don't mean to just pigeonhole female rappers together, but I can't help it. I think we often think of them together, and I think she's a good example of someone who knows how to express herself, how to express her emotions through music. Here, she makes it clear. GloRilla makes it clear that she doesn't know how. There's also a new theme of sort of protecting women, and another theme of just loving Jesus. A sort of religiousness to it, which is sort of a plus and a minus, because that's all those themes being thrown into one album. That's the thing, that a mixtape has a freedom. You can just kind of do it. Same thing happened to Ice Spice. I thought her EP was much better than her LP. Just once you have all this space, you have to spend so much time proving that you're not a one-trick pony that you might end up just making your pony do too many tricks. And maybe your pony doesn't need to do all these tricks. You just need to just own the fact that your pony does a certain number of tricks, and if you do them well enough, you can be Pusha T, right? How many tricks does Pusha T have? Is he not one of the great MCs of all time? Obviously, women are held to a different standard because it's a patriarchal culture, it's a patriarchal world, it's a patriarchal art form, but okay. So if you like what you see so far, if you like at any point, smash the like bucket, subscribe. You can put an AVAA, stands for awesome videos always, unless you are, as I predicted, perhaps disappointed in my level of analysis compared to my EP. For a stamp, I gotta go with Hold On. Hold On, because I feel like that's the clearest continuation from the A-Tang EP, the mixtape, into this album. It's got that crunk trap style, yelling and low bass and low horns. I love how the bass kind of slightly detunes throughout the verse. Please tell me, experts in Southern rap production, where does this come from? The way that the bass just slightly detunes during the verse. I'm sure that Skip on the beat and FNZ are not the first people to do it. Maybe they are. It's a very interesting production detail. And the whole thing is, this is the play. I think this is the play that GloRilla always does. That she seems dumb. She knows she seems dumb. She knows she seems dumb because people immediately discount women, because people immediately discount African Americans, because people immediately discount African American women, because people immediately discount people with a Southern accent, because people immediately discount people who dress in a flamboyant and sexy way. All these different ways that she knows that societally she will be discounted, and she knows that. And she plays with it. And she's never dumb. Ever. She's always super smart. But she has no problem seeming dumb. Playing with dumb. She's never trying to overcompensate. She's never trying to go to the thesaurus and look up words to blow your mind. You have to deal with the fact that her intelligence shines through all of these things that society has told us make her unintelligent. Do you get why that's important? Do you get that's important? That it's incumbent upon us to see her intelligence, not incumbent upon her to prove it to us. And if we can't see it, then it's a result of racism, sexism, regionalism, okay? Sexism again, at least 2 or 3 different kinds of sexism. So, we got the kind of stupid chorus, hold on, hold on, hold on, But it's interesting, because she does a great, even the title itself, hold on, that's just a regional dialect of saying hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. And then she does the great trick of making a word rhyme because she says it with a southern accent. Switch to sport, I got somewhere to be, little baby, I'm important. She rhymes sport with important because she just says import. But then we have this fascinating version of feminist sexual empowerment in this album. She's not the first person, obviously, to rap about the importance of making her orgasm versus making a man orgasm. This album is interesting, though, in the way in which she expresses her sexual power and, frankly, her sexual domination over her male partners by refusing to be faithful, refusing to make someone their full-time partner, and refusing to let them impregnate her. This album is sort of an impregnation album. There's a lot of that theme in here. So let's just take one of the lines here. Nah, I can't make you mines, but I can make you come. Freak up on the sheets, in them streets, baby, I'm a thug. I love that because normally it's, angel on the streets and freak in the sheets. That's what we say, the Madonna whore complex. Goes back and back. I'm going to give you the gift of understanding the term to search for, Madonna whore complex. It goes way back, thousands of years. What men say they want is a woman who is Madonna, that is to say the mother of Jesus, in daily life, but then a whore in the bedroom. Okay, this is an old complex, an old thing that's put onto women and has been put onto women forever. But she's not saying I'm a freak in the sheets and an angel in the streets. She's a freak in the sheets and a thug in the streets. Okay, again, she's not going to bend to what we think. I just threw 10,000 something ones in the effing club. I'm popping it so hard because I ain't used to ish. These n's ain't got no type. They want a stupid B word. Okay? Every time I say that, I swear I feel like Ben Shapiro. I'm going to say bitch. These n's ain't got no type. They want a stupid bitch. I'm saying it with all respect and not as an insult, so that's why I feel comfortable saying it. B word. P word. Mop. Credit to Ben Shapiro. Dude knows how to say the word mop. But I really enjoy this because it's like she's explaining this is the whole thing. You can think she's dumb. Go ahead. Think she's dumb. I just threw 10,000 ones in the effing club. I'm popping it so hard because I ain't used to ish. She's expressing very clearly the fact that when people who don't have much money are given a lot of money, they often throw it away or spend it in an exorbitant way, extravagant way, right? That's why rich people often stay rich, because they are raised with money, and when they have money, they don't feel that need. They know what it's like to have ish. Okay? They know what it's like. She's explaining this. She is explaining a cultural, societal, class phenomena in a way which other rappers show but don't describe. So they might say they're throwing away money and they're buying Murcielagos and they're doing all these things, but they don't say right up front, which is the great coincidence, the great paradox, because she is good at expressing her feelings. She just doesn't say that she is. They don't have a type, they want a stupid bitch, making it clear that she understands. These men don't want a woman like her because she's self-possessed, intelligent, driven, clear-minded, strong, all those things. So it all ties together. Why is it that she can't make these men can't make her minds, all that, right? That she can just make them come, right? It's because she understands there's this inequality and what they want from her is not what she wants from them. Therefore, they aren't going to get what they want. Hold on. Right? Do you see it? Man, I love GloRilla. She's great. Okay, I'm going to go through the rest of the album a little bit quicker here. Intro, kind of hard rapping over a cool soul sample. And she even does just a little bit of rapidy rap here. We got a multi-syllabic rhyme run. Damn, Glo, you global now. Damn, ho, you notice now. Police pulled me over, caught me slipping, but I'm sober now. Sober now, global now, notice now. It's not the most brilliant rhymes of all time. But then we have the main theme of the album. Yeah, I make mistakes, but don't nothing beat a failure but a try. Don't nothing beat a failure but The only way to beat failure is to try. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to say something I don't think I've ever said on this channel before, and I'm going to use a swear word again, so just cover your ears if you're under the age of 70. Fuck you, Yoda. My whole life.
Do or do not. There is no try. Asshole am I. Incongruent philosophy have I. Yes.
Do or do not, there is no try? What does that mean? No, of course there's try. I'm simplifying. I could talk for about 45 minutes about the real meaning of that expression. But what that's come down to is when people say, "Oh, you need to try something," they go, "Don't try it, just do it." But it's true. The only way to beat failure is to try. It's not to win. Are you still underestimating GloRilla? Do you not understand the depth that she is working at here, despite the fact that she writes choruses that are literally the two syllables, whole and all? Holo, holo, holo. Go ahead. Discount her. You go for it. You go for it. And then you're going to turn around and you'll be like, oh, when did that happen? All right, then we get the song Hold On, which I just described. Procedure, which is cool because it starts off with a quote from the movie Set It Off, which is like a great hood movie, which is a sort of euphemism for movies made usually by black directors for usually a black audience. And that's F. Gary Gray, great director. Did Straight Outta Compton, a bunch of other movies. And what's cool is that that's a movie about female criminal, I think bank robbers. I saw it a long time ago. I know Queen Latifah's in it. I think Angela Bassett's in it. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I saw this as a quote from it. And that's cool because, it's not a new thing for a rapper to quote a hood movie classic, but for it to be a female hood movie classic, that's awesome. The beat's a little bit too soft for me, but the back and forth between GloRilla and Lato is great. And this whole concept of procedure, and then these lyrics. So listen to this. You think this is a coincidence? You tell me, is it a coincidence that we live in an age in which the iniquitous states of America ended abortion rights, ended a woman's right to choose? Okay? We did that as a country. The shame that we should feel is immense. The amount of shame we should feel as a country, every American that is within earshot should feel a sense of loss that we have compromised our values so greatly that we have denied women's rights to choose. And then this album, you're trying to tell me this doesn't reflect these moments? B-word, I'm a big mama, but ain't none of these worth my womb? These trying to get me pregnant? I need to tie up my tubes. Okay? Now listen, I'm not saying that this is consciously a pro-choice anthem. I don't know. Maybe she's anti-choice. I don't know. I don't know anything about her. But I'll tell you, this is the environment. I teach classes. Music reflects life. Don't you dare just look at high art and things that are accepted in high society as a way to reflect society. No, this is it. This concern over pregnancy and needing permanent birth control, of tying your tubes, it's all there. Y'all effing up the game, this trying to buy me food. He want to see that pussy cream. I told him cash rules. Making a Wu-Tang Clan reference, tying it in to vaginal lubrication. God, I'm giving Ben Shapiro a run for his money. None of you make a beat out of me saying vaginal lubrication. It's in there. TGIF, I love this beat. I was just cooking pancakes this morning, and I was just dancing to the song while cooking pancakes. A fun hey party chorus. F you mean 40 inches 613. Apparently that's a reference to a style of hair weave, like a very specific experience that is lived by many black women across the globe who are, for whatever reason, aspiring to have straight Europeanized hair. Whatever, I'm not going to make some kind of thing. If you've never seen the movie Black Hair, go see it. It changed my life. There was a whole thing I did not understand about the universe, and then I did after seeing that documentary. That's what great art can do. But still, it's interesting she's giving this level of detail, which I only know because I checked on Rap Genius, and because this is something that me as a straight, white, cis, het male would never understand. She's expressing this reality. I'm looking fine as hell. I'm trying to be seen. I'm finna wreck the scene. I'm off the 17, which I guess is short for a kind of cognac. Turned up with my them. Watch me do my she's still always ready to kind of party and have fun even while she's doing these other themes. What You Know About Me featuring Sexy Red's got this killer opening verse. B-word, I'm from Memphis, what you know about me, big GLO in a GLE, 50,000 new Chanel shopping spree, and every time I pop it out, you know I ATE. Great modern slang, all that stuff, and just the way she delivers it, that's the flow. She'll sometimes get in kind of a sort of corny flow, but here it's not. Just her voice does. In this chorus. I was complaining about there being not enough regionalness. Okay. Her face, ice, tease. Her face, ice, tease. You can say that. Why isn't the song called Her Face, Ice, Tease? Okay, now I sound like Sean Connery. Face, ace, tease. It's hair, face, ass, titties. But the way she pronounces it, you could play that on the radio. It's awesome. It's interesting. I just love it. Sexy Red is fine. But, whatever it is, I please tell me if I'm wrong, okay? Because I don't, I'm trying to be discerning. And there's a lot of great female rappers out there. And I don't want to, dismiss them because I don't get them. But I don't quite get Sexy Red. And the same way I didn't quite get Lotto. I listened to both those albums. And I thought they were fine. Definitely not bad. But I didn't feel like I had the same amount to say about them as I would someone like GloRilla. But tell me in the comments if I'm wrong. Seriously, I'm totally open to it. I know my my yellow flannel brethren in Connecticut really likes Sexy Red. So I respect his opinion. I didn't watch his video, though. I'm a bad fan. Stop Playing. This is it's like a drill beat with almost like a Bon Iver style singing in the background. And there's this beautiful theme of stop playing with that girl. And I love it because it's it's such an unassuming way to state your own autonomy, to demand respect, to demand being treated well. Just stop playing with that girl. Treat me seriously. I love this line where she talks about her life and how it's changed. In the grocery store with my drip on, tell him clean up aisle 3. Funny. My new hood like the Maldives. I'm around water, around trees. I'm a big stepper. These clown feet. It's great. Here she's talking about being able to move out of Memphis and be somewhere around water, which is another theme I'm getting fascinated in. Is the regional aspect of rap music going away because everybody moves to Los Angeles or New York City? I don't know. Is my face very red right now? It looks kind of red. Did I get sunburned in the frickin' rain? Sorry, that sounds like it. How white is he? He gets sunburned in the rain. And then this is where she says, I don't like opening about my pain, so I let the pen do it. So that's what's interesting, is she's saying she doesn't like opening up about her pain, but she lets the pain. So here it's as though she's saying she does like to express herself through her music, but she doesn't like doing it in her real life. Buy another pair of Balenciagas, that's just how a bitch heal. Beautiful joke, beautiful punchline, all tied in. Listen, I don't have my copy of Pascal, but I normally have my copy of Pascal right here. He was a 17th century French philosopher, and he wrote all about the need to distract oneself. That's what it is. That's because we're miserable. We know we're going to die, and we might go to hell. And so because of that, we just try to do stuff that distracts us from our miserable state. Shopping is a great example of that, and that's how she heals, but also Balenciagas are shoes that have heels. It's a play with a homonym. It's tying into these deeper truths. She's saying, I don't like talking about my pain. Money, right? Because that's the problem. Next track is Don't Deserve featuring Money Long, M-U-N-I Long. And this is the other thing about an LP after an EP that's got pop ambitions. So she's trying to go pop as well with some singing here. I'm not a fan of the song at first, but then the theme got me because it's all about how don't deserve. It's not about you don't deserve me. It's about that man does not deserve my friend. Interesting theme. Do you have any friends who are dating somebody or married to somebody who you think doesn't deserve them? I've got like four names right now. I could just put them on blast right now. Okay? This song speaks for me. And it speaks for you. And it speaks for everybody. It's a true kind of empowerment. You keep putting up with all this ish you need to flush. You all this dirty draws. But bitch, I hate his guts. I love it. I love it. She hates his guts. You know, she might not be able to, as we'll see later on the album, be able to care for herself the way that she can care for her friend, but that's how it often is. If you treated yourself as well as you treat your best friend, the world would be a better place. I love it. And then by the end, I'm singing the chorus, so I like it. It's like a late 90s. You know what this is like? It's like back in the 90s. You know, I used to listen to hip-hop and R&B stations, the Jammin' 94.5 in Boston, and every once in a while there'd be a song that had too much singing on it, and I'd be like, I don't like it, because I was just sitting there waiting to hear whatever, the new song off of the second Old Dirty Bastard album, whatever it was. You know, I was waiting for something. Oh No by Noriega. I was waiting for something that was like rap related. But then eventually I'd hear the song enough and I'd like it. Then we get to Rain Down on Me featuring Kirk Franklin and all these other like singing, and it's something new, you know, gospelrilla. It's like this whole idea of a gospel song in the middle of here. But her prayer's actually really interesting. I wrote it out. I mean, I copied and pasted it. Feeling like I'm God's favorite, that's the best feeling ever. Rain down on me, Father God, I won't use an umbrella. Cheesy, corny, interesting though. Forgive the ones who play with me, apparently they don't know no better. At times, I don't know who to trust. I randomly rebuke the devil. Hey, thank you. I randomly rebuke the devil. I randomly rebuke the devil, meaning I don't consciously rebuke the devil, meaning I don't rebuke the devil with forethought and with careful consideration. This is one of the most fascinating theological admissions you could possibly make. I randomly rebuke the devil. If you call yourself devout and you can acknowledge that the way that you rebuke evil is random, are you still underestimating GloRilla? Are you still underestimating this review? Because I got to tell you, I didn't think this review was going to be this good. And I haven't even brought this out yet. You don't even know what that is. That's going to blow your mind. But I haven't even brought that out yet. It's hard to talk about my blessings. They say I'm acting cocky, always and forever humble. They just don't want to see me pop it. This is the great contradiction of basically all great, strong women, is that in order to be seen as an equal to men, they have to work 3 times as hard, 5 times as hard. And they need to claim their space. They need to say, I am the best, like the Simone Biles, right? And then when they say they're the best, everyone goes, well, how cocky. Have some, decorum, right? So they can't win. Either they just let themselves be, oh yeah, I'm the best. Yeah, okay. You want to step on me? I'm right here. Or they have to seem like this. Okay? It's a little, this little prayer song that you might skip because you're like, Kirk Franklin, I don't want to hear some guy talk about Jeebus. Actually sprinkling in some fascinating feminist theory. 5 feet and I'm praising you with every inch up in my body, so I pray you watch my back along with those who say they got it. Watch over my family, watch over all my partners, and even though they hate me, watch over my baby father. Watch over my haters, the ones that make me go the hardest. I just want us all to win. I want us all to prosper. This is real faith. She's doing the thing that it says in that book, that big book that they keep in all the hotels, the Bible. It actually talks about loving your enemies. It talks about protecting people. It talks about wanting peace. It talks about wanting well for everybody. That's what she's saying. And it ends up being a real and important prayer. Next song is called Glow's Prayer, which is kind of, I don't know. It's like a song about her like wanting to be with good men, but the only good man she's ever known is her father. The drill sound is kind of boring, but then there's like a real snare comes in at a certain point. It's cool. Then we get to How I Look featuring Megan Thee Stallion. Maybe my favorite track on the album because I love Megan. I love how the bass goes a little bit faster and faster and these tinkling synths and the energy in between them. And what I love is the fact that How I Look has 2 meanings. Has 2 meanings. She's using the fact that she's using African-American vernacular English to communicate something. So there's 2 things. How I look can mean, do I look good? Okay, when I was wearing a checker pattern and a striped shirt underneath, how'd I look? Like a moron, okay? Now how I look? Like a mime. That's how I look. But then there's the other sense of it being a shortened version of how would I look if the following thing were to be seen? How would I appear in the eyes of others if the following conditions were met? That's what how I look means. How would I be perceived of by others if the following conditions were met? They are turning. Megan and Glow are turning. How I look turning up and leaving all my bitches out. How I look going up laughing when them haters doubt. How I look pulling up an ish I know they can't pronounce. How I look laughing to the bank with my itties out. So the whole song goes in between rapping about how would I look doing something that is not worthy of me. Because that's the whole question. It's a question of esteem. It's a question of merit. I can't do something that would betray my esteem. You need to hold me in esteem. You need to hold me in honor for the things that I can do. So how would I look doing all of these things? And then it's also just I look great. Traditional meaning, how I look, ask a man, ask a fan, ask the gram, all that. And then even beyond that, she has this like funny, like she has this whole thing of like different ways of having sex with money, like missionary and doggy style, which is a fun idea. I Ain't Going, horns and bouncy drums, a whole song against domestic abuse and about the need to empower women, to have anthems, to not stand up to men who even threaten them with violence. Great. Step, with boss men D-Lo or D-Lo, it's fine. About the kind of man she needs, it's okay, it's not great. Let Her Cook is great because I was cooking when I listened to it. I really like this line, early bird get the worm, give me head, I don't want your sperm. Going into that same basic concept I was talking about earlier of a lot of pregnancy issues, which I think are going to be appearing more and more in rap music as we go further and further into, I'm not going to call it Handmaid's Tale because that's fun and that's fiction. We're going into 2024 America, which is bad enough. We don't need some kind of other reference. Okay? It's bad enough as it is. And then we get to I Love Her. And the thing about I Love Her, and the truth of it is, I'm not like the biggest T-Pain fan. But I can talk like him when I want. Because I've got the T-Pain. Oh. It's a T-Pain microphone. I bought it at Toys R Us 10 years ago. Wait. Batteries are low. I used to play with this with my friends all the time. Now that I think about it, I really owe a lot more respect to T-Pain. Sade. I probably need to revisit his albums. Please tell me in the comments, what did I miss by being a weird rap snob like Jay-Z? Okay, maybe I oversold this thing. It's normally good. It has like a little beat here. But yeah, the batteries are low. Anyways, not my favorite song because I don't love T-Pain, but I do feel like I need to revisit him and figure out who he is. After like 10 years, this thing finally broke. The T-Pain microphone. My mom's name was Victoria. She sometimes called herself Tori. So she was T-Pain. Album ends with Queen of Memphis. And this is where I want to end the video. Because she says, I'm trying to make every year better than the last one. So old me forever going to be my opponent. So that's her. She's going to get better and better. This year has been amazing. I still think Anything is a much better project than this, but I still think this project has everything that was good about that project as well. I still feel just as positive about her as a creator. I don't think that this will derail her into some kind of disappointment or some kind of overstuffed pop efforts. You know, I think she's trying to figure things out, and I think we are very lucky to have her in rap music, making music at this level. Okay? So, yeah. So was it disappointing? Were you disappointed by my video? Do you see how I tied it in all together and how actually I was pretending like I wasn't going to say some deep stuff, but then I pulled out that stuff about abortion, which I got to be honest was not in my notes. I improvised that while talking. So hey, the only way to beat failure is to try. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of trying, I'm going to go back downstairs. Hopefully we got some potty action going on. It's a potty over here. These are my Patreons. They help me to buy music. John Coffey wanted a shout out on this video, so John Coffey got one. So check out, but seriously though, stick around for I think I'm gonna release probably tomorrow my video on Love the Genius, an amazing underground female rapper from Buffalo. You know, all these great things are happening, and whenever I record on the floor, my leg falls asleep. So my leg's asleep. So I don't know what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna stand up. Tell me what you think in the comments. Hold on, there's the camera.